Konnichiwa and welcome to my YouTube channel. Anyways, it's been 4 days since I posted that last video, and I said I was gonna do the same thing of basically writing out and mind mapping different things that are wrong with me and different things that are stopping me from becoming better in at life or whatever. And it's been 4 days. Uh, I, I, I said I would look at the camera more. So like, let me look at the camera and see how that works. What's the camera? Am I looking at it? I think. Am I? Yeah, I think I am. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, no. From now on, I promise to be less inconsistent. I am gonna be more inconsistent, but yeah, man. I'm wearing a blanket right now, cause like it's cold, my guy. Yeah, I'm gonna see how this looks. It's weird looking at the camera instead of myself. Am I looking at the camera, dog? Like, let me like, where's the camera? Oh, that's the camera. It's gonna be weird looking at the camera. Anyways, last time I wrote about, where's the camera? Uh, last time I wrote about what was stopping me, from being better. And so tonight I wrote about what's wrong with me. Yeah, so what is wrong with me? Right there. Right there. What is wrong with me? Over here, I procrastinate, which I have established many times, and I procrastinated today a whole lot. Yeah. So why? Why do you know that meme? Anyways, why do I procrastinate? And here I wrote, I don't want to work. I don't want to work. And second, this it's a different format. I don't want to use like the same format every time, because then it's gonna be formulaic instead of genuine, right? So I just felt like asking why again. So like, why don't I want to do any work? And I wrote, I've dug deep holes. I have dug deep holes in my life. Basically, essentially meaning that like I'm in too deep with I'm in too deep with basically like, not too deep. You're never in too deep, but like I'm just like in too deep with just how much effort I've been giving into my life. Like I've dug so many deep holes of guilt and like effortlessness and all of that. And yeah, I've dug deep holes in my life. This is so weird not looking at myself. So yeah. Then I wrote how. How have I dug many holes, many deep holes? And I wrote, yeah, what did I write? Yeah. Forgive my handwriting. I've gotten so used to not working and giving up on improvement. You know, that's, yeah, that explains it. I've gotten so used to like, I'm saying work, right? And I'm using the word work as a broad term. I don't want to work like as a broad term for just like, I don't want to put in the work to better myself. I don't want to work in school. I don't want to work, on my relationships. Work, I'm using that as a broad term. Yeah, just for like working on myself and bettering myself, right? So yeah, that's the how. That's the how. That's the how. Um, why again? Again, I'm not using the same format, but yeah. Why have I gotten used to giving up on self improvement? I have backslid so much, I lost a lot of motivation. And I made sure to emphasize on like the fact that I lost a lot of motivation. I didn't lose all my motivation. I still have so much motivation, but it's not about motivation. It's about your commitment to that motivation, your intention to go through beyond motivation. And so yeah, I just lost a lot of I've lost so much motivation because of I don't want to be too close to the camera. My bad. I just lost so much motivation. It's like, yeah, that's. Need I say more? Need I say more? Like, if you want more of that, you can just like go through my videos to just um. But I feel like that's such a douchebag thing to say. I don't want to just say that because like, yeah, no. I've lost a lot of motivation in basically like it's like when you give up, it's like you don't see the why anymore, you know? And it's not that I don't see the why anymore. It's just that I have been ignoring the why for so long because I'm just so used to neglecting it, you know? Yeah. Um Next up, I wrote and with a question mark. I wrote and with a question mark because like it's like a sarcastic tone. I wrote that with a sarcastic tone because I feel like my previous mind map my previous mind map was right now it's what is wrong with me, and before it was what's stopping me. So like you can see like there's that difference, right? And so like this one that I'm doing today, this one is very direct in terms of like accountability. They're both very high. Like this is about accountability, this whole series that I'm doing and all these mind maps that I want to do. But this one it's like it's less sympathetic. It's like it's like I don't want to give myself as much sympathy as I did when I was doing the one about me being lazy. The one about me being lazy is like I don't want to bring myself down and encourage and like further just like encourage myself to be more lazy. But then with procrastination, it's like be accountable, bro. Be accountable. So like that's why my next prompt is like and with a question mark. It's like and like okay, you lost motivation and like what's happening? And my response to that was I have accepted loserness. I wanted to say loserdom because I feel like that's more grammatically correct. Is that grammatically correct? Yes. I feel like that's more grammatically correct, but I don't know. You know when you write something and like it's not about it making sense, but it's about how you're feeling while you're writing it. So yeah. And I've accepted loserness. Next prompt was so, it's some more sarcasm because it's an area of my life where I need to be strictly accountable, you know. I wrote so, and response was I don't want to be a loser. And if you see there's like a whole space between I, it's like, what? I with a small letter I, for meekness, I guess. I don't want to be a space loser. But basically, I wanna put all of these mind maps on my wall, and because of that, I know my parents are gonna see them. And here, I wanted to write a swear word. I just wanted to be like, I don't want to be a fucking loser. But because I wanna post these on my wall. I know my parents are gonna see them. So another prompt. It's another sarcastic and. Yeah, I think I should be like this. I didn't like the darkness on my face. I don't know how that looked because I was trying to look at the camera. Another prompt was freaking. Yeah, do not be traumatized by the metal roof. Mm, and again with a small letter I want to be better. There's really I can't say I need to do this or I want to do this. I want to be better. you know Like I said last time with my old mind map, um I can't give myself an instruction to do, like, okay, I procrastinate. I'm a big procrastinator, so I have to like freaking ah. Let me just put my book here. I'm a big procrastinator, so I have to get up early and start doing homework before I do anything else. I mean, like, my lips is chapped. I can't give myself an instruction of like, okay, I gotta do this, I gotta start doing this, because I've tried doing that so much. It's not about what I'm doing, it's about the attitude that I'm carrying as I'm doing it. And so I wrote, I wanna be better, instead of like, I wanna start doing this and this. I wanna be better. But that's not the end of it. After that, I. Another question. So, so, like, I wanna be better. So, then it is, I wrote here an incredible quote from one of the characters. I'm sorry for switching back and forth, bro. An incredible quote from one of the characters in The Incredibles. One of the characters in The Incredibles. Basically, the first movie where basically was Bob and his family were trying to rescue a whole bunch of people, and they were caught. And of course, supers were not allowed to be supers, and so he was trying to help out with his family, and then they were caught, right? And so now he's sitting talking to the police, right? And then the police leave and all angry and whatever. And then Bob looks at his friend who, I don't know, I guess is his representative or lawyer type figure, right? And he's like, "Wow, you were a big help, right?" And then he looks at Bob and he's like, "You wanna hold on." That quote right there. You want out of the hole, first you gotta put down the shovel. You want out of the hole, first you gotta put down the shovel. And yeah, speaks for itself. It's like, and it relates back to like, it's like this quote is just so incredible, and like I love this quote so fucking much, and like I think about it so much, and it's just subconsciously in like driven into my mind. That's why in the beginning I wrote like I've dug many holes in my life, because that analogy is deep into my heart. Because of how true it is, and how much I need to start applying it to my life. You know, you want out of the hole, first you got to put down the shovel. Forget about trying to think about how, like, um, forget about trying to think of, okay, I need to do something right now to get me out of the hole. Put down the fucking shovel, you know? And I'm sorry for swearing. I'm sorry for swearing. I've been swearing a lot lately. I'm in all honesty, swearing has been letting me like take out, some emotion, but it also gets to a point. I have to up no, no, mm-mm. This is how I talk. I talk slow, and the video is 15 minutes now, so whatever. And then the final prompt was another rhetorical, not rhetorical, but sarcastic question. So, I'm gonna be intentional and goal oriented. That was my final prompt. That was my final answer. And so, how am I gonna how am I gonna fix my procrastination? I'm gonna be more intentional, and I'm gonna be more goal oriented. And I need to start. I think, yeah, I think tonight I'm gonna paste these on my wall. so that I can look at them and like further be like continue to remind myself that I need to strive to, yeah, yeah. Anyways,